Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Road Back to Philly with Joe Matarese and Danny Rubio, right there in the upper right. Starting with Come and See Me Live, everybody. The tour dates just keep coming in. Let's keep coming in. All areas where Philly sports fans are living. Check this out. September 26th is my next one that isn't sold out. I have ones before that are sold out. Sorry, you can't get tickets to those that are on the tour. But I'm coming back to Medford, New Jersey, where I keep selling out. It's like my residency down there. I'm going there every month. September 26th, Studio 67 in Medford, New Jersey. October 3rd, Pottstown, PA at Soul Joel's. October 24th, back in Medford, New Jersey. There's going to be 2 shows that night. It's on a Saturday, baby. The 26th is a Saturday, too, but it's only one show. I have a private before that, the same night. Wow. November 7th, Philadelphia, PA. That's over there in Chestnut Hill. November 20th, Quakertown, PA. Tickets aren't available yet. I won't even roll all these off, but you see them on the list. They haven't been ticketed yet, but they are in my date book, and they are all happening. Okay? So get your tickets. Go to joematarese.com. It's pretty easy to figure out, and I love it. The Philly fans are coming in, which is a great segue for our first topic today. Give me a little fade on the music, Danny boy. Danny Rubio in Provo. How's the weather today in Provo?
It's a beautiful
Provo,
day. Actually,
Utah.
I had a couple of shoots this weekend. Both the shoot days that were beautiful days to be out getting content.
Nice.
Yes.
It's a typical New Rochelle, New York weather here. It's like in and out. It's been raining for like 30 minutes and then getting sunny and then raining. And for the last week, it's been like that. Rain for a tiny bit. It's like Florida weather right now. Rain for a little bit. Only thing different in Florida is you get thunder and lightning and your power goes out. I remember living in Florida back in the late 80s, early 90s, back when you had VCRs that you had to program the time on. Did you ever live in that lifetime, Dan?
I sure did.
You did? Where you had a
I did.
VCR,
We had a
VHS?
VCR, and I had to. Yep. And
You
I had to figure it out because my mom wouldn't figure it out, so I had to do all this stuff. My dad was like working all the time.
you probably had VHS Plus when you first got a VCR. Remember that, where you put a code in and it knew to record that show? Did you have
He would.
that?
My dad wouldn't want it. He wasn't home
He
enough
wouldn't
to
record with
do
it? Jeez,
records.
Louise. He wouldn't record shows?
No.
What do you have a
He wasn't home.
VCR for? To,
No,
to
that's
rent
the thing.
rent
Is
from
like,
Blockbuster?
yeah, no. He just we just had the when I had a friend who had the VCR, and then I had the VHS and the VCR. When we did get a VCR,
Mm-hmm.
I got to a point where it was just old enough that I was like, I don't need it. Like I'll whatever. I'll just I was too lazy as a
You
teen.
didn't record shows. Oh my God.
No.
That's all I did is record shit that was on. Every stand-up comedian, when they would come on, all those old school shows, I would record them because it was like right when I first started comedy. I was obsessed with comedy. I
Yes.
would just record everybody who come on those shows, like MTV Comedy Half Hour, or God, this is before Comedy Central even existed.
Sure.
A&E, the Arts and Entertainment Channel had all these Evening at the Improvs and Caroline's Comedy Hour and all these. There were comedians on TV like a lot doing little 5-minute sets back then. Now it's streaming and they're all doing their hour specials. That's the version
Sure.
of it now.
Do you feel
So,
okay? So I was actually wondering about this because because I came in after Comedy Central started becoming like the main location, right, for a lot of the comedy, like some of the growth of comedy,
mhm,
comedians that we know and love today,
mhm.
and I mean, I even said like, what show were you on? Was it
Oh, that one, Chelsea Handler's, Chelsea
Chelsea
Lately.
Handler? Yeah,
Chelsea
yeah. So
Lately.
I remember watching Chelsea lately, but so I guess my question was ultimately like, do you feel that that level of like comedy of being able to work and grow as a comedian has been lost, even though we have social now and to some degree, more comics can pop off due to like the algorithms and stuff. But I just feel like it may or may not be the same. Do you have is that do you feel do you understand what I'm trying to ask?
You asking me if it's made the comedy business different, or were you asking me if it's
Yeah, is
better
it
the way it is now or better
is
the way it was?
well
I'll tell
what's
you
yeah,
what.
I think it's
Okay. Why I think it was better the way it was, sadly, is there were gatekeepers. And the gatekeepers weren't necessarily correct, but there was gatekeepers. Now it's too easy to go around the gatekeepers and just start your own shit on social media and get big so they have to hire you. And then people go see the comedians that have the big social media following because they sell a ton of tickets, but they necessarily aren't good at doing the stand up at a live venue. That's what happens, and you hear it all the time. These guys come in and they're not good, but they were good on their social media because that's a
sure.
different skill. It's just like
It is a different school. Yeah.
it's a totally
That was gonna
different
say
skill. Back then, there was a gatekeeper, so you had to audition for a TV show that could help your career. So you had to be good. They didn't care about numbers. They couldn't see numbers. There were no
sure.
numbers. It was
Yeah.
just, do you deliver at the audition? When,
Joe, you got to
especially,
crush, bro. You
yeah.
got to crush.
And dude, it was so bad and crazy when I was starting out that if you didn't have the right number slot on that show, it could affect your audition. So like there would be 18 comedians that would go up in one night at, say, the Comic Strip. They never really did those auditions at the Comedy Cellar. That's like the biggest club in New York City now. They were always at Stand Up New York or the Comic Strip. I'm trying to think what other clubs. That was like, I feel like it was those two, and they would just bounce back and forth. The TV execs would come in, they'd sit in the back of the room. There'd be a night where they're looking for comedians for Saturday Night Live. There were times Lorne Michaels was there. He's in the audience, he's watching, and you got to be funny enough that you impress him, and it has nothing to do with the number. Now, sadly, it mostly has enough. It has to do with a number or a diversity numbers being hit. You're this and they needed that. I feel like the diversity thing's going away a little bit. It's not it.
Yeah,
5 years
yeah,
ago, like if you weren't from another country, they weren't even going to give you a lower named guy a Netflix special.
yeah,
It's kind of gone away. You're seeing just
yeah.
guys that are, have big ass followings getting the Netflix specials. So I miss when there was somebody that really knew comedy that was the gatekeeper. There was the gatekeeper at the clubs too, and you'd have to audition for them to get good enough to even be a regular working comic at their club in New York City. And you also had to be in New York City or LA, or it was like almost impossible to make it because there was no social media, there was nothing.
Sure.
Now, go wherever you want. And you show up at the Comedy Cellar now and you got 1 million followers. She may have never, Esty may have never have seen you ever, but it's probably going to impress her that you're this big following guy. You see it.
Mm,
You couldn't. You could be the funniest motherfucker ever at the bar. They're not letting you on. You gotta be someone who went through this. It would be like trying to be a pro baseball player, but like been doing it 6 months. You're not going to be able to do it. You're just not. You're
yeah,
not going to be able to follow Dave Attell on stage if you've been
sure.
doing comedy for like 5 weeks and you got this huge following. But it's different now. But let's get to the top of the podcast because it is Road Back to Philly. I mean, I guess that has a little bit to do with getting back to Philly for me is that, where I was and where, that question that you asked. It's funny that it's not obvious to someone like you who's in the social media game, kind of, you're kind of in it.
I was gonna say that
Don't you
I
notice
think
it?
no, I do. That's the thing I was gonna
Hmm.
say is like I feel like, and I'm in that weird generation where like I'm a millennial, and so I appreciated what Comedy Central and SNL and what they brought to the table of that small little level of gatekeeping where like now you can have more people who are funny, but they're funny via a skill set behind a camera to millions of people that can follow them on social. But you put them in a room and they can't deliver, um, or they deliver
It's
only okay. And
They
it's
can
like,
only deliver if you stick a camera. Like if you give them the right vehicle, that's the thing. If you want to
sure,
hire a guy like somebody who like Godfrey's a great example. But he's a great comedian too. But on his social media, he does a lot of funny videos where he's reacting off of videos, right? He's
sure.
doing reaction videos. So if you gave him a TV show where he's commenting on videos, he's going to be excellent at it because he's done it a lot. But
Yeah, but I mean, like,
he's
we don't
someone
need
who
that
paid
anymore.
his dues in every single asset of the show business. So you can't even bring him into the mix. It's like,
No, no, no.
but
But I
like
do. But
someone
that's what I'm saying. Is go ahead.
Someone like a Mo Mozzarella is a great example. If you gave him the correct vehicle, he will excel because you can't be good at nothing to get 1 million followers. You can't
Correct.
he's good at that. So if you give him something where it's that, but someone like me, if I go watch somebody like that do stand-up comedy, it's probably not going to, it might impress me for 2 minutes, but it's not going to impress me because I need to see really well crafted, intelligent jokes. It's fine, but it's
Yeah,
not as good as this line that's wrapped around the block. It's only good
yeah.
because there's only a line because of the social media. It's not, and you're disappointed because you're like, this isn't great. I'm eating
Yes.
an Italian spaghetti
Like
and
I,
meatballs that isn't that great.
yeah,
The
yeah.
guy's just makes amazing videos. It's
Sure. Yeah, yeah,
frustrating.
yeah. I don't know. It's like this weird paradigm where everyone has access to be able to, grow a level of following, but um, it is a interesting paradigm because I do think that level of gatekeeping or level of, and it's not like I'm not a firm. I don't like when there is gatekeeping in the sense of like learning how to do the thing, but I think there's a level of like a quality check, right? Like, can you deliver? Like, I in my realm, it's like I have people who are like they can get a camera and they're like, oh yeah, I can create video. I'm like, great, and then I'll ask them to go shoot. Like, I'll have them go shoot, be a shooter for me for something or that come whatever, and I'll get their footage back, and I'm like, oof, you obviously haven't spent enough time shooting and editing because you would have known you needed to hold this shot for like 10 seconds longer. Um, like,
Yeah,
or even,
it's in every
yeah,
business. There's the guy, I mean, back to last week's episode about my deck. The guy showed up today, he was on my deck, and Chat GBT basically brought that guy for me to hire him. It recommended him and I hired him. I'm guessing he might not be great. He might not be the best at the job. He might have had a good he might just have a nice van. You know what I mean?
yeah,
There might be some guy who has some terrible beat up truck that, doesn't have a social media following that is phenomenal at
doesn't use
doing what I
AI or
need
get,
done.
yeah,
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 that's what sucks. And I'm guessing, and it's the same with this thing. The only thing that's different is if someone's got that huge following, their fan base doesn't care. They don't even notice
no,
that the guy stinks. Only
yes,
some snob like me notices. I'm one out of, and I'm not even there. I didn't buy the ticket. I didn't get tricked into
sure,
it. But
sure,
the only thing that I've ever tried because of social media and not because someone had it and told me it was good was food. And I'll probably never do that again. Like, Yelp feels more authentic than social media. At least Yelp, there's ratings.
yes,
You're not gonna have, and then you got to look at how many people rated. If it's 9 people, you can't go by that. But if they got 2,500 reviews and it's got a 4.8% out of 5, it's gonna be good food. It's just there's
yeah.
no they didn't get 2,500 of their friends to lie. Guys on the podcast, or you want to advertise on my social media, we're doing that for people and it seems to be working really well. So you can do that, especially if you're in the South Jersey, Pennsylvania, Philly. If you live somewhere where they're a Philly sports fan, and that's in Florida too, That's where you're going to get the most bang for your buck, okay? Especially advertising on my Instagram and my Facebook page, all right? So go to joematarese.com. There's a contact form right there. Fill it out, send it over my way. Dan or I will get a hold of you. We'll set up a call. You talk to us. We talk you through it. We come up with what's best for your company, all right? Just go to joematarese.com for that. Let's go to the top of my list here. And you won't be able to even chime in on this. It's number one topic is what's the most overrated Philadelphia tradition? Not a place everyone hates, but something people are most afraid to criticize. Well, that's probably one of them right there, Wildwood Boardwalk, because I just did it, and they know better than me. You're afraid to make fun of it. The Mummers have to be number one. The Mummers. You don't even know what the Mummers are. I wish I had my stand. I think that I have a video I ad-libbed. I did something different at this past show, and I think I'm going to do it at all of them from now on. I used to let people at the end of my set request old stand-up bits.
Sure.
This time I said, just throw me a Philly, South Jersey subject, and I'll see if I can riff on it. And I noticed even if I don't riff out a funny joke, just discussing it, they liked. So someone in the front row goes, the Mummers, right? Now, you don't know what the Mummers are. If you Googled, yeah, we can't play it because we got the videos taken down. You could pull pictures up. Philadelphia Mummers. Now there's a parade every year where the Mummers are these people that dress up in these big elaborate costumes, and they, kind of like the Macy's Day Parade, how they have the floats. We don't have floats necessarily, but we have different categories of mummers and these outfits that they wear. If you can pull like a single picture up, it's a lot easier probably to look at. You got like a whole slew of them. So yeah, they march down the streets, they play banjos, and do you know that song Golden Slippers? Well, have you ever heard
Golden Slippers?
Yeah, you've never heard string band music, probably. I'm guessing. I'm thinking if you're from where you're from, there's no way. You know that song?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So there's all different categories. They win, for best this, best that, best this. Everybody, everybody's probably wasted on the streets watching it. This all day parade, super fun. You get your Philly food, you get your alcohol, you watch the parade, and you go nuts. And I had something funny happen on stage because I said to the people, I go, and then I started singing the song and doing this dance, Dan. This is the dance they all do, and they're coming down. Like a freaking, looks like the chicken dance a little bit.
Yeah.
You got these wings going. On New Year's Eve, we always play that song right at the strike at 12. It's when I used to DJ. It was Golden Slippers, and then New York, New York. That's how you came into the new year. Even though we were in Philly, you're playing New York, New York. Dun, dun, and everybody kicks their legs like dun, dun. Yeah. So it's what was I gonna say about them? Oh, so the Golden Slippers, all of a sudden this thing clicks in my brain. I go, all the golden slippers on. I go, wasn't there a Golden Grahams commercial? I said to the crowd that parodied the Golden Slippers Mummers song, and they're like, no. Now, no, and one guy in the back yells, yes, there was a commercial. And I said, oh my God, this reminds me of my 4th of July party. Did I talk about that on the podcast where everybody disagreed with my fan going counterclockwise versus clockwise?
No, because part of it was that like you never told us about how it went. You told us that you were gonna have like a bajillion people and it's gonna be like 150 degrees outside.
Yeah,
that day.
Yeah, so there was about 30 of us there. Half of the party was inside. So we had all the fans going. And I'm telling them, like, hey, I have my fans going the right way so you get the breeze. They have to go counterclockwise, and that's what they're doing. And then all of a sudden, everybody at the party goes, no, they're going clockwise. I go, no, they're not. That's counterclockwise. And I'm doing the thing with my finger, showing them what clockwise, like a clock. I'm like literally holding my watch up. I'm going, see the seconds on my clock? This is clockwise. This is the other way. This makes the clock go backwards. This goes forwards. Everyone at the party disagreed with me except my wife, and that's when I knew I was right. I was like, "Oh my god, they're actually." Have you ever had this where 99% of somebody's wrong, and
Yeah.
2%
No.
or 98% are wrong and 2% are right? So I go, didn't the Golden Slipper song go to Golden Grahams? Everybody says no. One guy says yes, and I'm talking to the lady in the front row. Pull it up on your phone. This was great because there was Wi-Fi in the club. I'm like, I need to do this at more of my shows because it's so localized that everybody's enjoying it. Lady pulls it up on YouTube. She goes, I think you're right. I play it into the phone. It's going, all those golden grams, all those golden grams, Chris and Honey. I go, I fucking knew it. I don't know why it clicked in my brain. I go, everybody here was wrong. Me and that guy were right. So, what's the most overrated Philly tradition? Not a place everyone hates, but something people are afraid to criticize. Don't fucking piss off. Don't criticize the mummers.
Don't
You are
criticize
going
the
to
moment.
piss them off. But second on the list is something that is getting criticized now because of Skinny Joey's opening his cheesesteak place right across the street from Citizens Bank Park where the Phillies play, which is Gino's and Pat's are the most famous. Pull up pictures of them. They're across the street from each other, Dan, who's never been to South Philly. They're across the street from each other in South Philly on Passyunk Ave. And you got to say Passyunk, even though it's Passyunk. Passyunk. It's technically Passyunk. 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 Gino's and
Shock.
Pat's face each other. And if you're a movie guy in the first Rocky or the second Rocky, there's a scene where Rocky's standing out front of I think he's out front of you know what, that's something we'd have to Google on Wikipedia if Rocky's standing in front of Pat's or Gino's. I feel like it's probably Pat's. They have his footprints in the cement there if you go. It's a fun little thing to do if you're visiting Philadelphia. Are you looking that up, Dan?
Yep.
Yeah, you could see his footsteps somewhere out in front of it, and it's a scene where the mob guy says to Rocky, "Hey, how much you clear?" I think
Pats.
that's the scene. He goes, "I don't know, whatever Rocky cleared from the fight." He goes, "Oh yeah, taxes
Yeah.
kill you. Yeah, taxes kill you. Did you ever think of investing in condominiums?" He goes, "Condominiums, I don't use them." Like that was Rocky 2, and I'm pretty sure they're out front of it. Can you find that out?
Yeah, it's Pats.
It's Pat's in Rocky. Is it Rocky or Rocky 2?
The Rocky film, the first one.
It says the first one. I wonder what scene.
Tony Gazzo talking to Rocky for a quick bite. I don't know.
Well, I think he gives him some money to go on his date. That's what it is. He gives him some money there to
Yeah.
go on his date with Adrian. He goes, how you know? How you know I got a date? You don't. I know things. You don't think I hear
know
things, Rock?
things.
I hear things. Yeah. I remember that now. Yeah. So don't, you can fuck with Pinos and Pats, because they have a feud going on with Skinny Joey's now because I don't know. I think Skinny Joey didn't have a problem with them, but they had a problem with Skinny Joey because he was taking all their business.
Sure.
Basically, like
Do you-
Geno's and Pat's were like so worldly famous that they never really had to
Sure.
like try to improve what they did. And
Sure.
all it took was somebody to make cheesesteaks with hard rolls, and then, and then everybody went because they had the soft cheesesteaks aren't as good on the soft roll. They made the ones with the hard roll. Everybody stopped going to Geno's and Pat's. Then a feud
I
started. Oh my
cannot
god!
I cannot tell you how much I've wanted a good cheesesteak ever since we watched or you had the cheesesteak guy on your
Yeah, that guy.
what's his
I don't
name?
think he has. That's the guy whose one I want is Backyard Cravings. When he opens up,
Backyard Cravings.
I'm all
His
over.
his Philly looks so damn good.
Yeah,
And
and his
I keep
pizzas are really good too. But he sells them out of
yeah,
his backyard, so it's like he only sells
sure.
them to the
Once
first 30
yeah,
people that respond to
yeah.
his post.
Which is smart because it's like you can charge whatever you want because you create a demand and it's freaking hella good.
The other thing it says not to make fun of is Wawa. What's the most overrated Philly tradition? Not a place that everyone hates, but something people are most afraid to criticize. Don't fuck with Wawa. Wawa's our thing. You probably don't even know what that is.
It's like a convenience store.
But you knew that. Okay. Have you ever been to a
Yeah,
Wawa?
I think when I was traveling with Gabe, I swung by Wawa when I had to travel in between one of the locations, but I can't remember off the top of my head for sure, for sure.
I'm waiting for
Um,
something to come out that's going to beat Wawa because it's beatable. Sadly, Wawa's great because it's got the Philly tasty cakes, which we love. Do you ever have a taste? If you go to Philly, you got to have a tasty cake. They're amazing. They're all different kind of cakes and sweets, and they're always great. I don't know what it is about the tasty cake, but we
that's
nail
true.
that and our cream cheese. We just nail our Philly cream cheese, and I don't even think they make that in Philly. It's just called Philadelphia cream cheese, which is crazy. But the Wawas are great because their sandwiches there, you just punch it all real fast into a computer and they don't suck. They're not amazing. They're not like going to a
But they
real
don't.
hoagie place.
Sure,
But they're
sure.
just good enough that at 1 in the morning, you're like, it's incredible when you're wasted. It's just good. It's like McDonald's. It probably does most of its business at 1 a.m. When you're wasted, it
No,
tastes
dude,
incredible.
listen. No way. McDonald's doesn't taste. It's not like what McDonald's is just consistent. I don't think you can. You could like
That's a good thing what you
places.
said because that was in the movie how he just wanted it to be exactly the same every time and that was going to help the business of McDonald's grow. When you saw that movie
Sure.
with
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, with
Mike, what's his name?
uh
Michael
Michael
Keaton.
Keaton.
Michael
Yeah.
Keaton plays the founder.
Founder?
It's
No.
called The Founder.
Fou-
Yeah,
The founder.
love
Yeah, I
that
was like, I'm
movie.
pretty sure it's the. It was really good. Well, and that's the thing is like McDonald's is just consistent that you can't, except for the only thing it's not consistent of is its ice cream machine. You can't count on anything to do with the freaking ice cream machine.
If it's going to
It's
work or
always
not,
out.
it's
Yeah,
always.
it's always
My daughter
powder.
couldn't believe that a milkshake wasn't made out of ice cream. I'm like, no, that shit's powder. It's not even real. He figured out a way. I don't know. No one else figured that out.
Yeah. So no, but because I think Wawa is for example of this is like you like places that are like that are loved because you can go there at 1 or like that hours from 11 to 2 and you're gonna be like, no, this is fantastic.
Yeah,
We
but
have a Mexican joint that's
it's
like
like
you
pizza
go. I
places. If they're in New York City, we have there's a lot of these dollar slice places. It's not great, but it's not that bad. So you're like, for a buck, who gives a fuck? I'm wasted,
Yep, yep,
and they're open
yep,
all night. So you go.
yeah,
There's a
yeah.
couple of hamburger spots like that now. They make in New York
There's a
City.
Mexican place called Betos and Rancheritos here that like you literally can go, at any hour of the night. I've talked about this where like
Is it good
we
though?
yeah, I think it's
See,
pretty
it's good,
decent.
but it's good.
But it well, so I think it's pretty good. Like some of the burritos are better than others, um, and but it's. I mean, I've always enjoyed it. I've never had an experience where I'm like I didn't like anything that I got. So
Right.
there's that.
All right, let's go to the next topic. What was the greatest regular guy job in Philly that barely exists anymore? This is where I wish you were from here, Dan, because you could help me. Because I couldn't really guess it. On my list here, I have Tasty Cake Driver. I don't know why. Why wouldn't that exist anymore? That doesn't exist anymore. I guess it doesn't.
Right?
There's no Tasty Cake Driver. I guess does that mean
Wait,
he
we
would sell them right off of his truck?
That's what I was. I was like, is he just driving around places like delivering it to people's houses?
I grew up in the burbs, so maybe in the city you could
I was gonna
get there was a Tasty Cake guy that drove around. You could buy them right off of him.
people would just no only the wild or boardwalk people would
I
order
always
it and then
I
get direct.
I always say that I feel bad for the person that goes to Philly and thinks the first Philly cheesesteak he should try is off of like a guy making it on this in a stand. Like and that's how you judge it. I'm like, oh no, that was your first cheesesteak? This is fucking terrible. Tasty Cake Driver, yeah, let's bring that back, dude. Can you imagine if some guy just showed up at the bar? Because that'd be another time you'd want to eat those.
Yeah,
Dude, when I did a gig in Winter Haven, Florida, called I think it was called like Laugh Out Loud. I think that's what it was
hmm
called in Winter Haven, Florida. It's kind of in the middle of the state. It's about an hour from Orlando and about an hour from Tampa. and I drove in when I was visiting my son to do a gig there, and
I
my
remember this.
open
This was
my
last year, right?
do you remember this? Yeah, my opening act found out that I was like a big Philly guy, and what a smart move. Young comics, you should do this. This was a smart move. He put all kind of Philly food in my green room for me. Just the opening act, not the club owner. Tasty cakes. I don't know what I'm like, where did you even get these? He's like, I had him sent. I had him sent. And then he hit me up like 8 months later. He's like, can I open for you again when you do that gig? I'm like,
Nice.
shit, yeah, you can open for me anywhere in the country with that. You just stick in tasty cakes. Smart move, dude. Genius move to guys'
Sure.
hearts, right? Sex and food. That's the two things we like.
Two things we
Um,
love.
the second one he says is the second one here on the list: SEPTA token booth worker. Yeah, in New York City, they got rid of the tokens that you used to be able to get on the subways with, and then
Like,
they used to have Metro cards, but now you can just use your credit card.
phone. Yeah,
So,
yeah,
but
your phone.
there's still a booth person though. But I guess at one time there was like
Is it
a
like in while you were sleeping with Sandra Bullock, where she's like at the booth and like they would put the little token in?
yeah, kind of like that. So,
Nice.
what are the most overrated Philly traditions that aren't? All right, no, that was the first subject. What was the greatest regular guy job? Like, I miss paper boys. I guess do they still? Because that was the best job to get when you were
It
young.
was. I did that once. True story. I would share a paper route with my homie, and one time we were doing the paper route, and cause like you wake up freaking hella early, you're getting everything prepped, you start to take it out. It's dark. It was like winter.
It was
It was probably
dark.
November esque.
Yeah,
We're like running around. I'm doing one side. He's doing the cul-de-sac. I start coming to meet up to get into the car and move in the next spot, and he totally runs right into some guy. This guy had his truck in the back of his house with a pipe sticking out. Walks right into it, into his with his face, cuts up his lip, and I'm like, bro, you're bleeding. I'm like, we gotta go back, get you like glued up so we could go finish this paper out. I like saw it because I'm like, bro, he just slow motion in my face.
do,
I'm sure
do,
he didn't even
do you
know it was
think?
coming.
But do you think they don't do paper routes really anymore? Because part of the job used to be collecting, right? You'd have to go one day of the week and try to get people
I
to
want
pay for
my
the week.
$2.
Yeah, is that why it doesn't exist? Because they're afraid kids would get like abducted by knocking
I
on people's
mean,
door in your neighborhood?
I think that it's that no one buys newspapers anymore.
There's that too. Yeah. My
Right.
wife's I still would if that newspaper showed up, I think I'd
I would
read
still
it
read it.
on the back
Yeah,
deck, like
100%.
page through it. I hate
Yeah.
reading on the computer. So
I
bring
hate reading on the computer as well. In fact, I got uh there is something about like reading news that you're like getting in a paper. It feels like every story does actually matter, whereas like if I go online, I'm like, what matters here? I don't know what matters. I don't know
what
what's
matters?
like.
If it's in ink, it matters.
Yeah.
And it's smeared and it got on your fingers. That was a nice thing, you know. You felt good. I read the paper. My fingers are black.
Yeah.
I was also thinking about this with the paper boy or paper girl because my daughter's 14. She couldn't find a job where they would hire a 14-year-old, right?
Yeah.
So this is, I was thinking this just sounds like a stand-up comedy premise. She got a job at a daycare center that she used to go to. Well, not a daycare. It was a preschool that she went to when she was little, and you could almost
Uh huh.
walk there from our house. And
Uh huh.
they have a summer camp with like 3 and 4 year olds. So she got a job there for 2.5 hours a day, Monday through Saturday. But check this out. They're not paying her. So my wife's
What?
paying her. It's my daughter's losing money for us by working. My wife's paying her
It's a tax
hourly.
write-off, Joe. It's a tax write-off.
It,
Okay, you can pay your kid up to $1,300 or something like that, and it's a tax write-off.
how much would you pay your teen daughter? She's 14 to work for somebody else where you're paying them because it's a great
What is she
experience
doing?
for her. She's helping with the kids. You know, she's taking care of the kids with them. It's basically she's like a babysitter for 20 kids at a
Yeah, I would.
time.
I mean, I'd probably say seven, $10 for 2 hours, right? So $20 each.
My daughter's tough. I think my wife's paying her 20 an hour.
Oh, damn.
Yeah,
Well, I
my
guess if you
daughter
think
doesn't mess
you're
around.
worth, yeah. She's like,
She
yo,
knows
I
the
pay
price.
it. Well, listen, if she's worth $20, like I'll pay the $20. But
Hmm.
you know,
You know what else comes up on the list here, Dan? Is shipyard jobs.
I was looking at that. I was like, shipyard jobs.
Shipyards. Yeah,
That's not something
because
we got here. We had here. We I was trying to think of like what is a regular guy job, and I'm like, we have factory workers, right? We have a couple. We have like a dog in where I grew up. There was a dog factory.
docks.
Yeah, the docks.
Don't you remember Rocky when he has to go collect
Yeah,
money from the guy at the
yeah,
docks? You remember that?
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
I know of it. I don't remember what the dialogue is, but I remember the scene.
you remember, yeah, the guy owed money and he's chasing him around.
Yeah.
I think the guy tries to take off on like a motorized like uh
Little
forklift
scoots,
or
like
something. I
yeah.
remember, and Rocky's like, I still remember the famous line. What's he say? You gonna hear music? You gotta pay the band, something like that. And so you want to borrow money? You gotta pay the man, pay to play
That's
the
right.
band. What a great line the way he says it in that movie. But shipyard workers, yeah, you would hear guys. They were like, a lot of them would be like half mobbed up kind of jobs, where it's like you knew a union guy. Basically, you went in for 10 minutes, checked your name on a list, and left, and got paid for the whole
Left.
day. You were supposed to be like taking oranges off a truck or something.
Yeah.
Shipyard jobs,
What
yeah, dude,
the
those are tough
Westies? Have you
jobs
watched? Have
too.
you been watching the Westies? Yo, they're hard. They're hard. That's real jobs right there.
Yeah, I
Not
had
like
one
what
of
I
those. I
not
lasted
like
a
what we
day.
do,
I
Joe.
worked in shipping and receiving at a
I
UPS
lasted
once.
one day.
I lasted a day, dude. I should have known that I wasn't going to be tough enough when they said you need a weight belt. When you need a weight belt, I'm not your employee. I am not the guy that you should have hired. Weight belt. They're like, yeah, you need a weight belt and you need steel tip shoes. I'm like, this job's
Yeah,
gonna suck.
suck.
I had
Oh
one
yeah,
friend who lasted the whole summer. All he did is grab a heavy box and all day, just this heavy box all day. You're
see,
fucking
I will say this. I've done. I was a parking lot painter for a summer. Absolutely brutal. I
I think kids now need to do those jobs to show you
I agree. I
how
agree.
good you got it if
Well,
you get a normal job.
well, and it's funny because like, but I quit. And my mom was mad at me for quitting, but I was so mad because I remember it was I worked for like it was like right before school and I decided to quit, but I would do work in the summer and my friend had been working with this the parking lot painter guy because he owned the company, he was in the neighborhood, and um there was one week where we had a huge job with Walmart where we had to do a brand new Walmart parking lot. So we'd go there, snap all the lines, get everything prepped, blah blah blah. And I swear to you, this kid. He's the one who would like I would go to baseball and he'd be on the same team. And I'm like, oh shit, because I know he's out there in like left field, sitting on the ground picking daisies. And then I show up to work, and he'd be like, I'm like, okay, we gotta go do this. He's like, oh, it's okay. I'm like, dude, I'm doing more work than this fool, and I know he gets paid more than me. I'm like, what is going on here? And so finally, we had a day where it was a brutal day. We had to do 2 locations. I was exhausted, and he'd end up getting off for some reason. And I was like, nah, screw this. Like, I know I'm putting in more work than this other guy. I'm out. I'm like, I'm gonna go find someplace that'll pay me better. I'm just not sitting around doing more work so this guy just sits around on his ass.
Yeah, dude. Fuck those shitty jobs. Thank God for stand-up comedy. Oh my God.
Thank God for marketing.
I am a pussy. So let's round off the end of this podcast. It's been a good one. If the time flew by here, so let's go to our one phone call. I know we have a voicemail from a fan, a super fan, and put the phone number on the screen right now. You guys can call throughout the week. 914-721-0008, the podcast voicemail number. Leave a question or a comment about Philadelphia, about South Jersey. Leave those questions just like you're in the audience at my show. Like I said at the beginning of
Yeah.
this podcast,
You'll
that's what
riff.
I'm doing now. And we'll riff it out. We'll riff it out, and you might get on the podcast. You put that on the screen, right, Dan? It's there. We're looking at it. Yeah,
You're looking at it.
we're looking at it. Thank you, Dan. Thanks for doing that. Dan's so good. So
All right, let's
you
play
got the
Casey.
voicemail, Casey.
Yes.
Let's hear Casey. Ooh,
Joe, huge fan, man, huge fan. KCD out in beautiful sunny California. Listen, I want to give you a quick call. I want to try something out real quick. I want to start hearing this at your shows. Go home, Joe. Go home, Joe. Go home, Joe. Ooh, I think you can catch on, man. I really like it. I really think it's gonna be good. Listen, I went home and it was perfect, man. Perfect. I went home to California.
hit pause for
I
a
started
second,
my own
Dan.
hack studio. Did a little bit of
I
cartoon stuff.
remembered I did hear this podcast. I'm curious, or I did hear this voicemail. Does he sound like he's on coke or something? I mean, this guy starts flying. I wish I could talk at this clip. Does he sound extra
Well, I was gonna
fast?
say, I was like this. I mean,
Huh?
he just sounds like he's passionate. I talk
He's
that fast
passionate.
when I'm passionate,
All right. Play the rest.
but he could also be on coke.
Maybe he had 9 coffees. Listen to this guy. He's
some
a
demon
super
things,
fan.
no.net, but still, it was phenomenal. I did great, And really what I did, Joe, is you got to look everywhere. Don't just look in Philly. Look all around. Like when I went, I looked around. I looked at Venice, Nokomis, Venice Gardens, Pittsfield, East Longmeadow. Even though those are like 2 hours apart, doesn't matter. Only an idiot from Maine wouldn't know that. But I kept looking at South Venice, Plantation, Laurel, Osprey, Palmer Ranch, Thymont, Gulf Gate, Siesta Key, South Sarasota, Ridgewood Heights, Southgate,
He's in
Sarasota
Florida
Springs, Beach Ridge, Warm Mineral Springs, Northport, Port Charlotte, Hogs Island, Inglewood,
What is he looking at? Like he's on MapQuest, like looking at the list of maps over here. Like that. Now I feel like maybe he's on for sure.
Sarasota, Siesta Key. Give me that. Let's see if he gets all the way down to
Tunda,
Miami.
Placid, Gasparilla Island, Boquitla, Punta Gorda, Sandy, Maca City, Rye, Parish, Bradenton, Ellington, Missouri, Memphis, Sun City Center, Longboat Key.
Is he just going down the like capital?
Memphis?
Like,
Did he say Memphis?
Yeah, he said
Is there
Memphis.
a Memphis
I'm
in
like,
Florida, or did he just
I
jump
have no
all the way up
idea.
to Memphis, Tennessee?
I don't know.
Keep going.
Holmes Beach, Ann Maria, Rattlesnake Key, Ruskin, Apollo Beach, Joe, Winnemucca, Riverview, Brandon, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Clearwater,
Oahu?
Tarpon Springs, Odessa, Lux, Spring
San
Hill,
Francisco?
Lakeland, Kathleen, Mulberry,
Cincinnati?
Zephyrsville, Dade.
Look, I can do this too. Providence, Mexico City.
Keep going.
I don't know. Rome.
This guy's
City,
he's
Barton,
announcing them like he's
Homer,
doing a horse race.
Arcadia, Wauchula, Bowling Green, Fort Meade, Lake Wales, Babson Park, Frost Park, Avon Park, Sebring, Lake Placid, Los Angeles.
Lake
Those are a little
Placid.
too far, but you know what I mean, Joe. Go home. Go home, Joe.
Did you
Go
cut
home,
him?
Joe.
He just
No, that's
ended on
it.
Go Home Joe, and then he hung up. Holy shit, dude. That was amazing. I'm going to find property in every one of those cities he riffed. Jesus Christ.
If you're
He
gonna
said,
Memphis,
he said Memphis, and then where did he say in California? Did he go California?
I have no idea, Joe. I don't know if he was staying in California or if he went all across the country. Like I truly don't know.
I don't
Well,
know,
my whole
dude.
thing is like his whole thing was like don't just look in Philly. Don't look just there. Look all around it. So, but I'm like
What was his first name again? Casey?
crazy.
Casey, call in again for next week's podcast. Where should I live in Europe, too? Go through Europe. Do all Europe. Don't go outside of it. Don't go into Asia and South America. Go just Europe. What cities? What are the best cities for Joe Matarese and his wife and 2 kids that will be older by then because it's in 4 or 5 years. I will be 62, turning 63. Where in Europe, Casey? Thanks for the call. Thanks for the listening to the podcast too, everybody. This was a good one. Dan, hit the music. In the can. What episode was that? Dan, 12, 13,
I think I lost
14?
track now. I think it's one of those.
I think it's 12. I think it's 12. Keep listening, everybody. Go buy tickets. There's the tour, joematarese.com for all your needs. Follow me on social media also at the Joe Matarese. And of course, sign up for my email list, which you can get As soon as you click on joematarese.com, that email list will pop up. Sign up on that, and then you won't have to memorize where all my shows are going to be. And you'll just you'll get the newsletter and all kind of stuff and everything about me that I write and send to all the people that are email list followers. You get the newsletter. All right, everybody. Have a good rest of your week. Come on, Phillies. Stop sucking. Stop sucking, Phillies. All right, leave Bryce Harper alone. Don Mattingly, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. We're going to get hot again. I'm telling you, we're cold, ice cold, ice cold. We're going to get hot. All right, Bryce Harper wants help. He wants help. The trade deadline is coming. Who are we going to get, Dan? Who the hell knows? Are we going to get a middle reliever that's going to help us? Or are we going to get a big, nice bat, someone with a decent average who can hit home runs? What are we getting? What are we getting? Are we getting rid of anybody? Who the hell knows? And the Eagles season's coming. The Sixers season's coming. It's going to be $500 a ticket to sit all the way in the top because LeBron's on the team. I can't afford to take my son. I'm going to have to know somebody. I'm going to have to get a famous friend. Who's going to be that famous friend? Am I talking as fast as that guy who left me the voicemail? Let's see if I can do it. Everybody, joematarese.com, at thejoematarese.com. Road back to Philly, everybody. See you later. Dan, what's your plug? What do you got? Where are they following you?
You can find me at rubio.tv on Instagram and other socials. And if you do have any needs, please check out sweetpeakproductions.com. That's everything. We'll roll back to Philly. We're out.